On the subject of Roots, the fanfiction, this one was a one shot, but it was very long and very ambitious. Over an hour, and it was a big Macintosh fic that centered around the Apple family itself. So, what it's about is all of the Apple family have been working for Celestia since basically the beginning of time. And each Apple gives an account of what they did. And no, that is already not true. Each Apple gives an account of what their parent, or most of the time father, did. And then Big Macintosh is writing in a journal about what he's experiencing the entire time. It's really cool the way it's set up. They say who died, and then they say long live the Apple family. For example, Golden Delicious is dead, long live the Apple family. And then they start with what they're saying. So at first, basically that's the entire story. It's them going through time and saying things about Celestia and how that Apple particularly helped Celestia, and Big Mac is kind of just going through how his life is developing, how it was harder at first to run the farm without the parents, but then as time went on, it goes into the show and how the elements, he talks about how the elements reformed Nightmare Moon. Excuse me, had to sneeze. And then it goes into like, it's obviously up to season 2. This was written by season 2 Discord, because at the end when it's Big Macintosh's son, yeah, I guess it's implied that Big Mac married Fluttershy, and this pony, this pony who gets the final say, is their son, because he even says he's not an Earth pony. I'm assuming he's a unicorn, Pegasus, like Fluttershy would be. Because when he's talking, he's like, he mentions that he's like, Big Mac Dad was like bragging about how AJ defeated Nightmare Moon and turned her good, and how he fought against Discord. She fought against Discord, and then he goes into like, like Applebuck season and stuff. But then like he criticizes AJ for like the last roundup because she ran. And she's like, "Dang, dude, what the heck?" The positives. This was a very good fic. It was very good. The positives around it were well, they're both positives and negatives. What I was saying prior was the issue with stuff like this and writing stuff like this at season 2 is the fact that it's just going to get super rolled by canon. And unless you decide I'm going to ignore all of the everything that happened after this, then it doesn't make sense. For example, Big Macintosh ending up with Fluttershy in this story, and it's like, well, Fluttershy with Discord, so not only that, but another one of the issues, it's not an issue, it's more, again, my issue is a lot of the stuff that happened in the past, I don't know where he's getting it from, especially since in season 2, when Discord ended, there wasn't that much comic. Well, maybe not. Maybe it was at the end of season 4 because he talks about Tyrek and the rainbow stuff. But then, if that's the case, why didn't the kid expand upon the fact that AJ and them fought in rainbow powered Tyrek? It's really I may be just confusing. Regardless, it obviously wasn't until the end of the series because Fluttershy gets with Discord. It's also a lot of stuff that happens. One of the things that kind of sparked my interest in them, it's just the more of the thing where I'm just like, I don't want to even look because it's so complicated. Um, what happens is in the story, Celestia and Luna defeat Discord, and when they defeat Discord, they they are ruling together for quite a long time. It seems like maybe two or three generations of apples, right? Which would be a while. I guess it would be at least like maybe 100 years for three generations or so. Um, and then Luna turns into Nightmare, and that just seems completely like nonsensical because my timeline was as soon as she was ruling, as soon as Luna was ruling, and she barely like started to rule, I would assume that ponies were already ignoring her and she felt betrayed. So I don't understand how they would have ruled for 100-ish years together, and Luna was like, "Yeah, I'm fine with the way I'm being treated," and then all of a sudden she was like, "Okay, I'm. This is enough. I'm, I'm mad now." Um, the the lore that is given here is pretty good, but like I said, I can't tell what is used as far as fiction, fanon, and canon from either the comic books or the show itself. Um, I guess regardless, the amount of effort put into this and the amount of work is still really impressive. Um, I really. Oh, I was going to mention this. It reminded me a lot of Wrath of the Cooper Protectors. I guess just Sly Cooper in general. This person seems like a Sly Cooper fan. Because oh man, Wrath of the Cooper Protectors is literally my story. Yeah, because like I had the idea that like the Coopers were something that needed to be maintained in secret, and that's what the Cooper Protectors were. They were an organization that was there to make sure that they were alive and doing their job. And it's kind of the same with this story. There's like the Apple family is there, and Celestia is making sure that they are keeping her informed and like helping her get by. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of like my story that I wrote. It it was really good. I liked it. It's hard for me to it's hard for me to the top three right now are her scarf fluttered, uh, her scarf fluttered, the Cadence story, um, Zero Naked Horizon or whatever, and then the Ever Ash Project. Those three stories, the oomph that they gave was such an impact that it's just gonna be hard to beat them. The cuteness and the like everything of the first, the her scarf fluttered in spite of the lack of wind or whatever. That's just was a really cute story and made me cry. Naked Horizon was just really funny. That it was just really funny. And then the Everash project was just humongous plot twist that I did not see coming. Like I was just like, holy moly. Uh Replacing those even with solid writing, solid lore, and huge effort is just gonna be hard. So this would still not make the top three, but I'd give it about a 4 out of 5 stars and say It was very good.